And welcome along and welcome to this early access first look at Monette Farms by MappersParadise. This map is based off the Monette Farms headquarters located in Swift Current, Canada. And yeah, thank you to MappersParadise for giving me early access and letting me have a look at this map. It's got some pretty massive fields on this map, and it very much feels like a multiplayer setup map. So yeah, I think this is one to jump on with your friends and all have a go at. This is early access, this first look, so there are a few minor details that need adjusting and fixing. Things like this shed, which is currently floating. Anything like that we find during this first look, I will be passing back to MappersParadise so that they can get them fixed before the map's release. In order to have a look around the very large fields and set up on this map, we're going to be taking the TLX 2020 in the Virtual Farmer livery out to have a look. Before we do that, though, we are going to have a quick look at the PDA, and there are 17 fields on this map of varying shapes and sizes. The smallest field is field 4, whereas the largest is field 12. Field 4 is in area 34 and costs 48,930. I think that is the cheapest area on this map. Yeah, even the farms themselves are more expensive. There are two cheaper areas. In fact, no, four cheaper areas up the top here. Farmland 12, 13, 10, and 8 are all a lot cheaper. None of those have fields on. So yeah, if you want to get some get the field work going, it's 34. But yeah, I think these are all sort of industrial areas, these ones. So yeah, there's no farmland to farm on them, but there are cheaper areas on the map. The most expensive area on the map, that is field 20, or sorry, farmland 20. And that will set you back 881,000, which is slightly surprising to me because I was expecting the most expensive piece of land on this map to be about $1 million, and it's 100,000 pound or 100,000 short of that. So yeah, the farmland on this actually really quite a reasonable price. There is a cow farm on here as well that is located to the east of the map, over that way. There is also seed production, seed production on here. I'm guessing that is in the area that we are at the moment, in the middle of the map here. Although we'll try and explore and try and find that a bit. There's a lot of stuff around here, though, so it's quite possible that we have the seed production is around here. Yeah, there are a lot of custom models for this map. Lots of custom farm models and building models that are on here as well, which is really good to see, and we'll see if we can seek out some of those as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump in our truck here and head on out. There we go. And go and have a look around this map. Now, the first thing is this yard here. I am going to have a quick drive around it. And this is why I think I think this is set up very much for multiplayer straight off the bat. There are a huge amount of silos on here with a nice big grain auger to fill them. Lots down the side here as well. We've got lots of equipment. I mean, you start off with 2 harvesters and a whole load of case tractors as well, with some pretty big stuff. Lots of seed points, lots of tipping points. Yeah, there's a huge amount of stuff up at this area here, up at this main yard. So yeah, there's a lot of equipment there, and this is a pretty big yard with some pretty huge sheds as well. I mean, just look at the size of the interiors of these, which also have some nice interior office spaces as well, which is pretty cool. I don't know how far. Yeah, you can go right into the toilets and see the whole way around this. So there's a lot of and you've got the repair area in here. I think that's the repair area. Although I will report to them that that doesn't seem to do anything at the moment. Yeah, all in here. Getting stuck in the doorways. So yeah, lots of really nice detail in these sheds. And I think, yeah, these are custom ones to them. We're going to head out around this way and into the woodlands so that we can have a look at a little bit of the detail through there. I think we can fit under there. Good. And up and over. So despite the fact that this is a fairly flat map in general, there is a certain amount of elevation to it and a certain amount of variation to its levels. You have got some forestry to it with areas like this, and as I've said many times before, if you've seen one of my first looks previously, the detail in the forestry areas is what I look for. I love the old broken down vehicles that we've got in here. I also love that this forestry area is not just one basic texture or one you know, with no grass or no bushes or just all the forestry texture. There's some variation and some detail to this, which is always really nice to see in a map. Putting that, as I've always said, putting that level of detail into your forestry area of your map shows a certain level of care and attention to what you're doing on your map, and making sure that every area is a good area to play, even if it's an area of the map that maybe not quite as many people play. Although, having said that, I think that forestry has changed a bit since. It is very much more popular now since the advent of the Platinum Edition. So, yeah, good to see a nice forestry area on the map. Good place to use some of that Platinum Edition equipment and earn a few extra bucks with some nice extra work that's outside of the farming, if you want to do that. As we come down by field 13 and out the other side and back towards the main road, I love the texture on this road. It's not just a plain grey road. There's a little bit of colour in the middle of it. Makes it much more interesting. And again, more detail going into it. We're going to go past the livestock yard. We'll come back to that in a minute. First, we want to head up the top here and to this area. And we've got a gas station up here. So, yeah, if you need to refill with fuel. Liking the edge of the map a bit, although it does just sort of disappear off it. But there is some attempt to hide where the edge is. And I think if you're not riding along the road like that, I mean, if I was to stand here, you cannot see that that is the edge of the map, which is good. That is a very good thing to see. I like where map creation tries to hide the edge of the map without just sticking a whole load of trees along the side. You know, make it look like part of the map. Is always great. I love that. So here, what have we got here? This, speaking of it, here is the seed production. So yeah, the seed production is up the top corner of the map here. I'm guessing that you tip stuff into here and you get seeds out of here. Yes, I'm guessing this is where you get pallets of seeds out. Absolutely fantastic. Good to see that built into the map. And yeah, love that. That is a brilliant feature. So that's a custom production built into the map. Very much liking that, and that's one of the things that Farm Sim 22 does very well, is allow for custom productions like that. We've got Larson's Livestock. Now, I believe this is the base game livestock building. Looks like it's been reconfigured a little bit. We've got a few static cows in the fields there. Looks like we've got a sell point for grass and hay and bits like that over the far side. So that's good to see and makes a lot of sense where it is. This long road, and again, loving the way that this isn't just, whoa, we're getting some air here. Loving the way that this isn't just a flat map. I mean, it's fairly flat anyway, but there is some variant to it, and I really quite like that. And yeah, looking round, it looks pretty good. There is, I can see the edge of the map a bit over that way. I mean, it's a big tree line. But again, it's not just a solid tree line that is all the same along it. An interesting smoke output from there. I'll pass that on. But otherwise, yeah, liking the look of this area here. We got a sell point here. It looks like a couple of sell points in one there. We've got a stone crusher here, which is just a stone crusher. We've got a lime point there as well. And then if we come around here, we've got a garage in here. So this is not the main shop at this point. That is the other side of the road. And we've just got a lot of variation. Yeah, there's not actually. So these are some of the lands you can buy. So if you want to build your own farm and have or build a load of productions, there is production area on here. Now I will say one of the few things that I do look for in maps these days is how much of the productions they've got built in. This doesn't seem to have a lot of productions built in. I think I might. It would be quite nice to maybe see a dairy built into here, because I don't think even a dairy production is built into this map as it stands at the moment. This is the main shop, so it is a case shop. So yeah, that'll be very apparent when we go through the equipment later. And your vehicles spawn in this very nice large area down here. So for a map like this, if you're coming into it without any equipment, you're going to want to spawn a lot of equipment in. And yeah, there is a very big, very large area to do that down by the shop here. So yeah, very much liking that. There's another production stroke sale facility at the bottom here. Let's just take this round here and have a look. Yes, this is a production. So what is this the production for? Oh, we seem to have a few of these around the map, and that don't seem to work. So I will pass that on to them. This appears to be a production of some kind. Maybe it's a grain mill, I think. But yeah, currently not working. So I will pass that back to MappersParadise so that they can have a look at that. But yeah, lots of space down here to put your own productions in if you want. But not a huge number of them currently built into the map. So if we backtrack a little bit and head towards here and then cut across the middle of the map, we'll be able to go down to the bottom, yeah, to the south down there by field 8 and have a look. There's a few bits down there that are of interest, and there's a whole other forestry area down the bottom corner, so we'll go and have a look through there too. It's a really lovely map if you like your large fields. I think, as I was saying at the start, I think this is very much a multiplayer map, and will work very well from that point of view. We're loading in quite a few new models at the moment, I think. Yeah, so we've got another garage down the bottom here. So if you want to get your... if you need to get some fuel, there's that down there. And then we have another area, Miller's Sawmill. Ah, so this is the sawmill down the bottom here. And we've got a wood chip selling point, sorry. and then we've got a wood selling point itself. So yeah, looking good. And oh yeah, and production output down the side. So as I said, there are some productions in here. You will need to place the majority of them as this map stands at the moment. That doesn't mean that there may be some alteration. There may be some extra ones put in here before release. But as it stands right now, if you want to do production stuff, you need to put it out. As I said, I think the only one that I would really like to see, and I don't think I've missed it because I've gone through most of the productions, is to see a dairy on here. I think that, given that you have a cow farm, I think that would be really nice. Again, though, here we've got another nice forestry area. Very detailed. I'm loving the roadway through it, having this central grass area. It's or central grass track, to the point where I've actually got lost in the middle of the woodland just following that path. So I'm going to cut across through the trees. And yeah, I do love the woodlands on this map. They are very nicely done with so much detail, and that's a real plus for this map. And the fact that I can get lost in them like this is brilliant as well. So yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. I think the area down to we'll cut through here. Oh, I can't cut through here. So that's field 4 there, which we talked about before. But there's an area down the bottom, and yeah, we really can't cut through the edge. Oh, we've got a floating tree there, so we'll pass that back as well. So yeah, floating tree down by field 4. So as I said, this is very much early access, this map at the moment. I don't think we can actually get out of here. Yeah, wow. So this is all fenced in and not easily accessible from the other side. So I'm going to get myself back on the road here and then out the other side, I think, because at the moment this just leads to a dead end. So I've got myself out and down the other side. We're just driving down by field 4. This road is very close to the edge of the map, and you can see that you're at the edge of it now. But we do have down here a very large working area. And yeah, so this comes all the way around, and we can't get in there. So yeah, as I said, this being early access, there are a few items I need to pass back. That would be one of them, in that you can't get into this area. I don't know if you can get into it from the top. Maybe you can. Ah, yeah. Okay, so yeah, this area needs finishing off a bit. It's got a few more fences to put in. But again, another nice placeable area that you can build a farm or build factories or bits like that on it, which is great. So I've come back up to the main road now, and I need to have a quick look at the map as to which way we want to go. Yeah, we want to go north along the edge of the map still. So along and up here, because we're heading over to the main dairy farm now, which is just up the side here. And we've got a nice big farm sign up here, yeah, which says Monette Cattle. So this is the main cattle farm on here. I don't know if when you spawn back in, you spawn down at the farm here. In fact, no, I'm sure you don't, because you don't actually start off owning this. You start off owning the main big farm at the top, or the main big area. So you do, I think you can purchase this and come in here later. The size of this truck versus the standard 1983 one is ridiculous. It's just huge. And this is the cattle farm down here. So if we pop over the fence, we've got a fairly nice silage silo. We've got a pickup trailer. Yeah, so a fairly basic cattle farm we've got here, but with a nice big cattle shed that we can work. This is not, no, it's not the auto feed, but it is, I think that is the base game one. Everything you need up here to actually do this though. And down the bottom here, yeah, we've got a tractor and a setup. So yeah, not the biggest farm and a fairly basic cattle farm, but we're about right for what you need on this map. As I said, I think you're going to be doing a lot more multiplayer stuff on here for that. So let's have a look at the equipment you get. So there is quite an array of equipment on this map. Tractors wise, you start with, well, medium tractors wise, you start with just the John Deere 6250R. But in the large tractors, you do have several Steigers. So you got the Steiger, 2 Steiger quad track 470s. You get a Steiger wheeled 470 and a Case Magnum 400 power drive. So lots of horsepower in those. 524 across all of the Steigers and 435 in the Magnum. Trucks, you start with 2 Mack Anthem 6x4s. Harvesters, you get 2 Case Axle Flow 9-250s. Cars, you start with the Pickup 1986. Trailers, you get 2 of the Distinction Super B pull trailers and 2 of the lead trailers. So that is 75,000 litres per pair of these. So 140,000 litres that you can pull at any one time. To go with those, you've got 2 Demco 2200 dual auger grain carts. You've got the headers for the combines, so that's 2 3162 Terraflex headers. You get a Case Speed Tiller 475 disc harrow, a Kuhn GMD 4411 mower, a Fanex 904 Tedder from Vicon, a Shootermaker Rapide 580V forage wagon, a Fairsin PF 2.24 plus feeding wagon, and a Kuhn Primor 15070M straw blower. 2 front loaders in the John Deere 700M and the Hoher XB 190. A plethora of front loader tools, Fliegl Ruby 2000, an Albert Universal Bucket, 2 Albert Manure Forks, and an Albert Bale Spike. A single Adco 2300 weight, and a Conveyor 1690 conveyor. So it's a little bit of a mishmash at the moment with the equipment. Certainly the larger stuff and the harvesting stuff makes a lot of sense to me, that being up at the other area. But considering that you currently don't start with the cattle farm on here, the stuff that you use with it seems to be a little bit redundant. So I think there are definite changes in the initial setup to come on here before this map's release. That would certainly make sense to me. Yeah, otherwise, I think that's a really good start, especially with the land that you own, because you do own Field 20 and Field 2, both of which start off with... what have we got in there? That seems to be fairly big fields, but I'm not sure of what we've got in there at the moment. That's sort of dark. That dark, actually, looking at it, I don't think that either of your starting fields, Field 1 or Field 11, have any cropping at them at the moment. So you don't start off with a seeder, which is... Yeah, so you start off with lots of harvesters and not anything to harvest. So yeah, definite changes to come with the initial setup on here. With that much equipment, I think a field that you could harvest would be a very good start on something like New Farmer. All in all, though, I think this map has a lot of potential, especially if you're looking for somewhere with some really big fields to go and harvest with your friends. I think this is going to make a fantastic multiplayer map. As I have said throughout this video, this is early access. I fully expect some things to be updated, changed, and fixed before this map's release. But it is looking very, very promising. And I think it's going to be a whole lot of multiplayer fun. So check it out when it comes to the mod hub. For now, though, I am going to leave this here. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.